Ooh, and I thought my jokes were bad. Oh dear. So look, I've forgotten my intro. Welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. My name is the Nerd Man. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today we're talking about a Vanity Fair article. Look, I put this picture up. It's very provocative. I'm no Christian. I don't really believe in all of that stuff. If there is a God or Jesus or, three beings who exist as one or virgin mothers or any of that stuff, I'm going to hell in a handbasket. So this doesn't offend me at all. And far be it from me to say that I don't enjoy explorations of theology and divinity within the context of a superhero movie. I certainly enjoyed it in parts of it. I hated it in Man of Steel. I thought it was so on the nose and so done terribly. But there were parts of Batman v Superman where I enjoyed aspects of the theological discussion by Lex Luthor. And there were certainly parts of the Watchmen that had elements of that in as well. And there are other stories, Kingdom Come by Mark Waid, which kind of explores that in a very clever way. But I don't know how to explain this. What does Joker have to do with Jesus Christ? Is this Snyder just trying to be cool again? I have high hopes for I'm not a fanboy, but I like Zack Snyder. I really do. I like The Watchmen. I like Batman v Superman. I like Dawn of the Dead. I think he's a capable director with the right script and maybe a little bit of oversight. And I think what's happened in this movie, what I'm starting to get which is why I really don't know why Warner Brothers threw out this movie at all. I think it was mandated to be 2 hours long in the cinema. I don't know what Kevin Sujihara was thinking. Why would a 2-hour a Justice League movie make loads, like, when it was designed to be like 4 hours? It's like it blows my mind that this idiot brought this Justice League out and ruin the momentum of the DCEU. But let me put it this way. I don't know why he stopped this vision of Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out in a digestible 3-hour format when the studio had already come in and given heavy notes to Zack Snyder and were overseeing him during the whole process. And this is what I've been saying. And this is why I think this movie might turn out to be actually really good, because it's Zack Snyder on a leash. Zack Snyder not able to have Batman having an affair with Lois Lane because it's cool and it gets to the why of the character, or Joker. I'm sorry, not Joker. Pardon me. Or Superman being extra dark and edgy. I'm seeing in the trailers Superman smiling every once in a while. What do you fucking know? Looking cheerful. but not like a big cartoon character. It's got that element. I think it's the criticism that most people give to Wonder Woman. One, that the balance of Patty Jenkins and Zack Snyder's influence helped that movie, and I think this is going to help. This is going to the Justice League and all the interferences by Jeff Johns and the studio for what the final product was going to be actually is going to help this movie be very good. But looking at this stuff, this is Zack Snyder off the leash, basically. This Joker is completely Zack Snyder off the leash. And this is why you can't have Zack Snyder off the leash. He doesn't, there's a scene, he doesn't know what he's doing when he's off the leash. His ideas need to be tempered and filtered through rational, cooler heads, because some of them are cool and some of them are this. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. When has the Joker ever been connected? Like, Superman has been connected to some form of divinity, or as a modern day allegory of Moses and other kind of biblical figures. When has Joker ever been associated with Christianity or anything to do with that? What is this? He looks terrible. The Joker looks fucking awful. This is like the first possible design. It's worse than Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad had something different about it. Like, oh, this is our take on the Joker. This isn't even a take on the Joker. I don't know what this is. It's like Marilyn Manson video bullshit. All right. So I still have high hopes for Justice League. I really do. I think it's Zack Snyder on the leash, but now they've let him off the leash again to do everything he wants. I hope that he doesn't sneak all his scenes in and take out all the scenes where they probably said, you know what, we're having Superman smile in this fucking scene. I don't give a shit what you think, Zack Snyder. Superman's going to be happy in this scene. He's not coming down fucking from the sky all ominous, depressed, while he's saving people. He's going to save people and be fucking happy about it. And you're putting that in the movie. I hope that's what, he does, because I know he shot it his way, and then he shot it the studio's way with a lot of the scenes. I hope he shot a lot more the fucking studio's way. So they told him, like, but anyway, there's some very interesting stuff. This Vanity Fair article called "The Shocking, Exhilarating, Heartbreaking True Story of the Snyder Cut." And I want to start off by just saying, look, everything this says about his daughter is quite beautiful. I gave him flack about using Hallelujah as a song in the Justice League trailer, because I'm like, my Justice League epic score. I'm not interested in any pop music or, epic score. That's what the Justice League deserves. That's what Wonder Woman deserves, Batman, Superman, etc. No pop music. I don't need "Come Together Right Now. Come Together." No, man, I'm not into that. Justice League is dun 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 dun. That's my Justice League. I don't give a shit about like some pop music song. But this one I'm gonna allow, because that was beautiful what he said in this article about his daughter and how this film is dedicated to her. That was her favorite song. Actually, listening to how she was, he talks about her as a very creative person who was a writer and all of this kind of stuff. So listening to her, his account of who his daughter was, who was adopted, which is good on you, Zack Snyder, for adopting kids. A wealthy person actually using his privilege to take people out of more tough conditions. So good on you, Zack Snyder, for that as well. And so he describes her and as this creative kind of person, and who was a big kind of nerd like he was. And it's moving. There's no doubt about it in this article. It's very, very moving. And, you know, it's hard not to kind of sympathize with that kind of aspect of, you know, the Snyder movement. I get it. You know, I definitely get it. And since that was her favorite song, and he's finishing the movie with it, apparently, I will probably be in tears when that happens. That alone, just that knowledge that this song, you know, was a tribute to his daughter, who unfortunately, if you don't know, committed suicide. That, I think her name is Autumn. I think that's very, very beautiful. So this article, you know, goes into all of that, and it goes into a lot of the politics that were going on in the background of the Snyder cut, like, or sorry, in the production of the Justice League. And what it does, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but really, it, you know, in a lot of ways, just vindicates everything I've been saying about Josh Whedon, about Ray Fisher, about John Berg. John Berg's actually interviewed in this with Zack Snyder. I mean, I don't know if that's throwing Ray Fisher under the bus a bit, like for Zack to do an interview with, you know, with John Berg, while you know, while there's such enmity between you know, between Ray Fisher. But it's clear to me now from this, if you really read between the lines of this article, that Ray Fisher is on a revenge mission. He's on a deluded revenge mission to stick up for his buddy Zack Snyder when people, you know, were dissing his movie and creating the crap fest that was Justice League, right? So this is a misguided attempt to cancel people just because they didn't like a movie. That's basically everything this article tells you. And I'm going to go to the bit right now so that you can see what I'm talking about. I think it starts here. So, as Man of Steel, Snyder continued to challenge expectations and norms, which sometimes led to pushback from the studio and originalist fans. Aquaman, for instance, has always been looked waspy in the comics in casting the role of Batman comic book hero in the favor of the long dark locks and smoky gaze of Jason Momoa. Bad idea. Guy can't act. Sorry. So Aquaman shouldn't even be in this movie. Aquaman should be the Jesus Christ. Aquaman shouldn't be in the first Justice League movie. Aquaman should be the kind of character you use once you're confident in your universe. I mean, even Green Lantern is kind of silly when you think about it. If you're trying to do a more grounded DC universe, I don't know how they would have done Green Lantern even in this more grounded way. I suppose they could have done it where his ring just shoots out laser beams and gives him a shield and stuff like that, as opposed to being able to construct all this stuff that usually the Green Lantern ring does. But you know, Aquaman is about as far out there as you can go. Why did he think he could do a realistic, gritty take on Aquaman is beyond me, and with such a terrible actor. But he remembers thinking, like, I'm sorry, guys, Snyder fans, I'm not trying to be horrible here. He's made so many mistakes. And this just proves it. They're trying to put it in a nice light, but he was trying to, it's like, I don't know what he was trying to do. He hired like 3-4 actors who can't act. And the only one people diss is Ezra Miller. And Ezra Miller is actually probably the best actor. Ezra Miller's a better actor than Gal Gadot. Ezra Miller's a better actor than Henry Cavill. Ezra Miller's a better actor than fucking what's the fucking thing called? Than Henry Cavill. The only person that Ezra Miller is arguably not a better actor than is Ben Affleck. He's a better actor than Jason Momoa. And actually, again, I'll say this for Ray Fisher, he's probably the best actor amongst the Justice League. There were some mistakes in casting as well, because he's just thinking about, oh, it will look visually, how it will look visually. He's not thinking like responsibly, like, dude, these people need to carry a franchise. Even Wonder Woman 1984, and I used to defend Gal Gadot, and I still do in a way, because I think despite her limited talent as an actress, she's got an Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of, not quite there, but like kind of movie star charisma about her, which when harnessed in the right way, you can use that instead of her acting skills to get her over as a person. And I think that's what I saw in Wonder Woman 1. I saw that charisma bleed out, and I confused that with like her being a better actress than I thought. But then everything subsequently that I saw her in, I was just like, it's diminishing returns and diminishing returns. And then Wonder Woman 1984 did her no fucking favors, because the script was so bad that only a really, really fucking good actress could have made that naturalistic. So you get a bad actress with a bad script, and it just exposed the shit out of her. So that wasn't particularly her fault, but she didn't help the situation either. So I still like Gal Gadot. I still think she can learn and grow and turn into the kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the female Dwayne Johnson stroke Arnold Schwarzenegger, in terms of just bringing charisma to the role, like George Clooney or something like that, as opposed to actual acting chops. But that's what I'm hoping, so that at least she seems naturalistic and doesn't stick out like a sore thumb in movies, because acting isn't up there. And then Cavill, he just made a lot of mistakes. I don't know, man. And I'm trying to be positive. I'm gonna do a video actually where I'm gonna do a video where say that isn't positive about Zack Snyder. I'm gonna give let's say I'll do, because it's gonna be hard for me. I'm gonna give $3 to a suicide prevention charity. I probably will do that for my birthday, but so I'm gonna try and talk about Man of Steel and Batman v Superman in a positive light, completely positive, on my birthday, which is March the 1st, which is also Zack Snyder's birthday. And I'm going to try my best not to say anything bad about Zack Snyder or his movies. And I'm going to give $3 for every time I say something bad. So hopefully people will join me and you can count with me on that. So anyway, I'm trying to find the bit with Ray Fisher and the accusations and John Berg. All right, so here we go. Marvel Studios movies, whose success exerted so much pressure on the DC team, hit on a formula that mirrored their comic book roots, telling stories about relatable, everyday people grappling with sudden, phenomenal powers. Snyder's DC universe approached its superheroes from the opposite direction, depicting gods and immortals who are at ease wielding cosmic strengths but strain to be a human and connect to the ordinary world, which isn't Superman. That's kind of maybe Batman, but that's not Superman and Wonder Woman. They don't struggle to connect to the ordinary world. That's absolutely not their situation. At least not my favorite, not the best iterations for me. The best iterations of Superman is he's very, very human. So doing that, I get the idea of depicting gods and immortals. That is what DC is supposed to be doing, that wield cosmic strengths, but who don't connect to the human world. Nah, man, that isn't it. Batman doesn't connect to the human ordinary world. That's true. The director envisioned this as an operatic, tragic, and perhaps a more challenging type of comic book storytelling. But Warner Brothers feared it made his heroes gloomy, their abilities a curse. True, his heroes were gloomy and their abilities were a curse. And that is not Superman. That isn't Superman. His abilities aren't a curse to him. I mean, that's Batman. That's basically Batman. And that's maybe, I'm trying to think, who else would be that? Maybe Martian Manhunter. Maybe he could have done a good Martian Manhunter film. Like something dark with there's genocide and the mass death of the Martians and all of that. I think Zack Snyder might have done a very good Martian Manhunter movie. That's a guy whose abilities and his history and everything is a curse to him. There are heroes in DC that really fit Zack Snyder, and I don't know why Snyder fans don't see that, because if he did those kind of movies, no one would be against him. Everyone would be singing his praise, and let people who like Superman do Superman. I don't understand the difficulty. Anybody who comes in to a Superman movie saying he wants to fix Superman is immediately going to alienate half of his audience, and a core audience, because they're the people who will go and see the Superman movie over and over again. Fans of Superman, the comic book fans. You can't make a Superman movie where you just try and get new fans and alienate all the old ones. I don't know why that's such a hard thing to get through to people. It's really baffling to me that you see a movie like BVS and a Man of Steel that is divisive, and you say no, but he's got it. He's got the real version of the character. Why isn't Shazam and Wonder Woman divisive? Why isn't Batman Begins divisive? Why isn't The Dark Knight divisive? I mean, even if you want to say like, it's because people have this idea of the comic book character and they don't like when, people shake it up and do new things. They just want the old versions. Then why was the Joker $1 billion movie? Why did Wonder Woman succeed? It's because they kept the core of the character. The spirit of the character is in those movies, and then they add their own flourishes and it's baffling to me that people find this so hard to understand. And I guess because they don't have imaginations, a lot of people, and I don't mean that in a rude way, I just mean that a lot of people who aren't storytellers can't see things other than the way it's presented to them. So to them, it's like Man of Steel is the shit because it's the only thing that's been presented to them and they can't imagine anything better. Whereas there's clearly things better. Just read the fucking comic. Pick up Superman Earth 1. Pick up Mark Wade's, any of Mark Wade's comics, any of Mark Wade's Superman comics. They're better. They're better fucking Superman stories that are really grounded and realistic. I don't understand what the issue is with Snyder fans. It makes it blows my fucking mind that they don't get that Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman. It's a basic criticism, and it's true. It's fucking true. He understands Lex Luthor, funnily enough, but people don't know that. He understands Batman. People don't know that, even though he got Batman to kill, which was dumb. But he understands Batman. That fucking character he killed, sure, I know he killed, but it was fucking Batman. It was a recognizable Batman. He did Batman shit. But he just added his own Zack Snyder quirks and flourishes to it. The Superman, he's Wonder Woman. Was Wonder Woman. I go figure. I don't even know how he fucking did it. The Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman, that was Wonder Woman. As much as Patty Jenkins was Wonder Woman, there were two, very, very different depictions. Wonder Woman in a very serious movie, Wonder Woman in a more, how would you put it? Like a crowd pleaser, uplifting kind of inspirational movie. And, it was two different versions. If you look at the Wonder Woman in BVS and the Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman 1, two different versions, but they both have the core of Wonder Woman in it. Her core characteristics, her kindness, her strength, her warriorness, her altruism, all of those aspects are there. He got Wonder Woman. It blows my mind. The guy understood Wonder Woman, but he doesn't get Superman. So anyway, right. In 2016, as principal photography got underway on Justice League in the United Kingdom, rumors percolated that Snyder had been fired from the film. That didn't happen, but Warner Brothers, the chairman and CEO Kevin Sugihara, did assign watchdogs in the form of DC Entertainment creative chief Jeff Johns and Warner Brothers co-production head John Berg. The edict was clear. At least one got to the crux of it. What have I been saying for so long? The Snyder fans want to hate on Jeff Johns and they want to hate on John Berg. But the truth of the matter is, Kevin Sugihara, Warner Brothers, the people who invested money in these projects were the bosses, and they were the ones telling Jeff Johns and John Berg to go there and sort this kid out. Sort fucking Zack Snyder out. It was them. It wasn't Jeff Johns. So all these people, I stand with Ray Fisher. I want to cancel Jeff Johns. I'm cancel John Berg. Cancel Walter Hamada. Cancel. Why? They were doing their jobs as they were instructed. How do you think? Why is Ray Fisher blaming Josh Whedon when for taking out all the people of color? It makes no fucking sense. He's blaming him for taking out all the people of color. Well, dude, the studio asked him to do it, to make it a 2-hour movie. What do you think they were going to do? Cut Wonder Woman's fucking screen time? cut fucking Aquaman or Batman screen time so they can put in supporting fucking characters? Come on, man, think. It was the studio mandated telling them to put it down to 2 hours that probably made Jeff Johns and John Berg come off like fucking assholes. And maybe Josh Whedon was a bit of a cunt. I'm not even standing up for Josh Whedon that much. But maybe he was a bit of a cunt as well. But the fact is, they were put in an impossible fucking situation. It's what I've always said to Ray Fisher. I stand with Ray Fisher fans. So now we've got to this bit. I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to be right back. And then I'm going to go over the rest of this article. So I'm going to call this one part 1. All right. Thanks very much for joining me. Have a good one.